What's up, YouTube? Live with the Pepperoni here, and today we're gonna be doing a bunch of little things and some big things. We're just gonna reinforce the cowl, get the dashboard all mounted up, get the steering column all mounted up, as you can see here. Put the new shifter on, get some, what are those? Are those some headlights? Get some headlights mounted. And just finish up a couple other things, cleaned up, I vacuumed all. Ooh! And kind of get ready for the next one. I noticed that the body kind of has to like go like this a little bit, so I'm not going to do that this episode, but that's some stuff in the future. This kind of like, when I moved the car out, this kind of went like that, so I don't know what happened there, but yeah, this should be a pretty good episode, and don't forget to subscribe, and hope you guys enjoy it. So just doing the glove box here, and this had like the old nut in it that I cannot get out, so this one wasn't in, so I'm just going to put rib nuts in here afterwards, but I'm just having a hard time getting this one out, and I'm trying to push it through, and it all cracked and everything, so I don't know, I was going to keep on going. So I got that one out. I kind of screwed it up a little bit, but I'm just going to weld it up, grind it out, drill this hole a bit bigger, put 2 rib nuts in there, and then this thing's got a glove box. Drilling some holes, putting the rib nut in, and then shortly you'll see I'm just welding up the old hole because it cracked a bunch trying to get the old insert out because there was strip nuts in there, so wasn't able to get those out. So here I am just sanding along and getting it to do what it needs to do. Here I am using the best goop there is, Anchor Lube. If you guys haven't tried it, I would highly recommend it. I wish I had some sort of promo code for you guys because I use it all the time. It's the best. So there's that. There's 2 rib nuts. That's all welded and fixed. And I'm just going to find some bolts and bolt it in. So here I'm using just these little, I don't know, these countersunk screws with a little cap. I use the same ones on my Corolla. They're just really nice. I got a pack of 50 of them for like $5 on Amazon. So that's what I'm going to use here. So this will go in there like that. So then they're kind of in the whole way. Rather have a bit too much thread than not enough. That didn't go in much at all. You can see 3 threads. No bueno. Look at that. Cool. There we have a glove box. That looks super sick. It's going to be annoying when it goes like that the whole time, but whatever. Okay. I wonder if we can adjust it. That's good. Cool. That's done now. So maybe we'll get onto the shifter and put that 37 shifter on. I found I had 1 bolt in my whole bolt bin for this. So I'm just gonna cut the end off of my shifter, cut the end of this bolt off where the flange is, and just do a little weld there. And then I can just bolt this in. It doesn't bottom out, but I would rather get a better, what's it called? I would rather get a better depth and stuff. And then if I cut it off there, then I could just add a spacer here, however thick I want, to actually tie in where I want the V8 logo to land. So I can, like, once that's tight, I'm going to do it there, but I might need a spacer or something later on, like once it gets worn in. So, so yeah, so that's what we're going to do right now. So here I am just cutting the original shifter off, and I'm just gonna put a little tacky tack on the new bolt slash adapter to the shifter. I don't know why they put a little concave piece on it beforehand, but that's kind of all we got and what we do. So here I'm just unscrewing the shifter off so I can put some heat into it. Here's the little tiggy doos, and that's all it needs. It's just a little shifter. Stop. I'm gonna cut the dash to accommodate the steering column. This has to go up a bit like that, so I'm gonna have to do a little hole here, a little cutout, and then this can like get sucked up, because right now, why aren't you coming? This is gonna go like up there like that, so we'll have to like dig in a little bit there, but not too much. And then I'll probably shorten the column once more, and then we'll be kind of good to go. So I think how I'm going to do that this time is I'm going to grab some of that DOM that I was going to use for the steering, and I'm just going to cut a slot in it. I'll slip it over, and then I'll be able, this will be perfectly aligned, as well as it'll be strong and good to go. So just kind of like mark out on the dash how this side and this side, we don't need much. So maybe I'll cut like something like that, so that can just go up like that. That can dig in there. I have underneath where I'm gonna cut already, so I'll probably just slice it this way and this way first, and then I'll slowly creep up on that. So here I am taking my column on for the 100th time. I'm just marking out kind of where it has to be and where I feel like it'll best sit, and getting the cowl out so I can work from behind. So what I'm doing here is I'm just gonna drill a hole behind here and use a hole saw from behind, because I had the great idea to take the gasket out. So I'm gonna cut a bit of this out and then use that hole as a top side. And with that angle there, I should be able to get a round portion there, I hope. So here I am getting the drill bit ready. I'm just drilling a pilot hole, so when I put the big drill bit in, it has somewhere to go, has a little ways to go. I'm just cutting out the portion where I need to drill, just so then the drill bit on the back side doesn't go through the bottom, as you can see here. So you can see kind of just on the edge there, I'm using the little hole as a pilot on an angle, and not wanting to go through my actual steering column, I have to push it out of the way, because later on I thought, oh, there's not half the top of the steering column, so if I pulled it out it would probably be pretty good. So here I realize I have to just cut out even more. It was kind of hard to determine on how much to cut originally, just because it was like, oh, I think I need this much, or I need this much, and I'm just like wanting to creep up on it, because far too often I cut way too much off of everything. And that's why I'm not a good woodworker, because I can't exactly weld it back on, but with metal you can. But I've just learned over the year, not even years, the past year, just patience. Just creep up on it, patience. If it takes you 5 minutes longer, you know what? You're going to get a way better end product when you do that. So it's that time, and I don't even know the other word it would be, but it's worth it to creep up on stuff like this, to just do it slowly, take your time, mark out a little by little, and just go from there, because once you cut too much, you're kind of out of luck. I thought cutting it with a sawzall would be best, because I really didn't want to grind marks in my face. I didn't want sparks at that moment. I was just like, I do a little peaceful, yeah, never mind. It took so long, I didn't realize it was a solid bar. Why, I'd put a solid insert to make it a solid bar, so that was not fun. So here I am just cutting around the center there. You can see, plop. There she goes. just getting it pretty square, and we're kind of good to go. Here's that DOM I was talking about that I'm gonna end up cutting a little slot in it and go from there. What I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna slice a slot in here, then cut it about here, and then that will open up a bit, and then this should slip over the steering shaft. So here I am just finishing up that slot and gonna get it all cut, and here you can see it there. I'm just centering up the box just to make sure that it's where we need to do it. You can see right here there where the slot is, and that's where we gotta put the shaft in. So I'm just measuring it up, making sure it's all where it needs to be, and get it ready to mount. We're getting there. This side I probably went a bit too much with the round, but I think once that's in, I can just make this nice and go around this. But that puts it back in a nicer spot. So what I'll do is I'll just make a piece that goes up here, comes across and bridges down. I'll cut some of that off, weld it to here, and then that will allow me to make some mounts on the back side of the dash. And then the steering column and all that stuff will kind of be done. That's just one step closer. So what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna clearance this around this and then probably cut a bit more here. And then I'll go on the CNC machine, slot some holes, and then I'll get into there. I'm gonna do this is I'm just gonna like follow this through right here. That'll be nice and easy. It'll follow this. And then this side, we'll just come around like that and kind of see. I don't know how it's going to end with this, but with that given up, if this sneaks up into there a little bit, I'm not going to be mad about that. It just needs a bit more room, so maybe even honestly just like right here for now. Here I am just trimming and pulling apart the steering column for the 1000th time. I'm just trimming it where it needs to be, kind of finessing it. Like I mentioned earlier, and I can't say it enough, I'm a broken record. Just get up on it slowly and just make sure your cuts align and look good. Just no need to rush it. It's just not worth it. I always used to be the get her done fast, just rush it, and there's so much stuff that I've just had to redo so many times that I don't have that time anymore to redo it all. So here I am just making sure it's aligned properly, holding it up, marking out what I need to do, because again, I just want it to fit nicely. I had to move the steering column up about 1.5 inches, probably like into the dash after all said and done where it was. So pretty significant if you ask me. I didn't realize when I got the 39 dash how big it would be compared to the actual stock stuff going on. So I really don't like how low it sits. It just doesn't match. So I'm just going to cut around it here and here just a bit more. This will kind of sink into the dash a bit and kind of look a bit better. I have to push it so far down to get it in there, and then it, like this is supposed to be in the center line here and it's not. So I'm just gonna cut that quickly right now, and then hopefully this will fit in, and then we can make the bracket and get it good. I'm liking that. kind of Frenched in there, matches the shape. It's got to go like right there, but happy with that. Looks pretty straight from the back. It doesn't look straight from the side because there's so many like corresponding panels, but I'm happy with that. So I think I'm gonna make the bracket for there now. Find some screws, make the bracket, and then I'll do that, and then I will screw that in. And then weld it probably here and here. Probably just use some 3/16. So what I did here is I just rubbed my dirty fingers on both of the holes. You can see the mark there and there. So now I'll just measure in between there, and then I'll just make it a bit bigger to what I need it, and then I'll just go make a rectangle. So here it is. Here's kind of my template. It's 3 inches center to center. I was gonna cut this on the CNC machine. I don't know if I am still, but it would take me less time, that's for sure. And a nicer end product. So here's my super ghetto scanning system. It's a Epson Perfection 39. I don't know, I got it for free. Shout out to Luca Rizzo, thank you very much. So I just taped a tape measure here, a steel one, so I can get my references, and then I'm just gonna place this on here. So then when I square this off, it's like a perfect square. Then I close this. Okay, so what we do here is we just go here, and then we'll go canvas, insert from my computer, choose here, what the heck? Oh, origin, press that. Press that, and I zoom in, come over here on the left-hand side to canvas, right-click, calibrate, and here's what I'm saying. So it's a 6 inch, so I usually put it on the 6 and the 1 because 0 is hard to find. So you put 5 inches in there, and now you have a full-size render of what you're drawing. So we know we're gonna want like 1/4 inch holes here. 0.29. It looks off because those are just rough round holes. But I trust it's right. Okay. Look at that about there. Okay, and here we have it. Let's press E. We'll make it 0.25 material. Oh, gotta fix that right there. That looks ugly. What the hell? What's happened there? Looks so weird. Oh, cool. So there's our piece. Okay, so I made some other ones, some other brackets that I will just bend and go here. I'm gonna weld a piece of 1x1 across there. You can see it's under there. And then I will just do a couple mounts across the dash on the bottom, so that means the bottom and the top is mounted. And then here we have this piece here, so I might have to bend those a bit more. And here we have this piece here. I might have to chop that off a little bit. That looks like it's hitting there. That looks like it's hitting there. So I'll have to like cut those off and go a bit deeper on the bends here, but that aligns pretty good. So we're good to go. So here's a little column drop. I screwed up on these. I thought they were, what's it called? 1/4 inch, but they're 5/16. So I had to just square them off, but that'll be fine. So this goes in here like this. With that drop, that fits lovely now. So that will go in there. I don't know. I can do this with 2 hands. So this will go into here like this. Where's the other screw? Here. Okay, so that's in there pretty good. I'm just gonna mark off where I gotta grind. Anchor lube everywhere. And then once that's ground down, I'll be good to go. I did want to sit a bit closer that way, but beggars can't be choosers, so here we go. It has to be like this. So maybe I'll flatten this side a bit, but okay, so now that this is, I finagled it a little bit. So it's pretty much where I like it, so I'm just gonna tack it in right now and hope for the best. Didn't have my gas on. That sounds better. Got some penetration into the dashboard. This 1937 metal welds so nicely. Like, it's just rust, and it just like welds better than most metal nowadays. That's so sick. Cool. I love that. You can see all the weld marks on the dashboard. I'll show you guys. See some penetration. Look at that color right there. Gotta take this off. That's the whole dash moving. So now I gotta weld that piece across here, and then I'll just like go from here to there, from there to there, and get that in place. Well, I guess I'll have to like bolt it to there. But yeah. Okay, so right now we're just gonna measure from here to there. As soon as I find a tape measure. I seen one drop. So I'm gonna go, I think across here. And then I'll go in between these bolt holes. That cowl has to get hit. That's okay. Let's go like right here-ish. I think it's a good spot. 39 and a half. Let's do that. Yeah, 39 and a half. When you don't have enough room, you make it work. And then we'll measure 39 and a half from here. Roughly there. Okay. Grab my trusty Sawzall. So here I am just tacking the reinforcements in place. Later on I realized that this hits the bottom of the cowl, which I'll just have to cut the cowl. It just hits it by, I don't know, probably 3/4 of an inch, half inch. Isn't too bad. I'm not going to be running the gas tank in there anymore anyways, so it's not that big of a deal. So once I put this in, I realized, man, it made such a big difference of reinforcement. I was like, holy smokes. Then I bent these little tabs when I cut them on the CNC machine, so everything is removable. I'm one for welding it all in, but I'm really glad I made it all removable. I was like, current Elio thinks of future Elio. I totally forgot to get my magnet from the Corolla on the mount, so you guys can't really see anything, but I'm literally just hitting this on a jack stand because I don't have a vise or anything, so kind of see here. It's super ghetto, I know, but that's all I got. So I'm just hitting it like that, and then I'm like putting it on there and checking. Okay, I went a bit too much, so I'm gonna flatten it out, and then we'll be good. And here I am just doing the other side. I figured 2 on the right where I'm gonna be most of the time, and 1 on the left side or passenger side for reinforcement will be damn good enough. Okay, while we're here, I think I'm gonna add like 1 to here, and then 1 on that side there, just to give it a bit of structure. Like, there's not really anything here, but at least this is together now, and then I'll just do, I don't know, 1 to this corner-ish here. Probably, maybe 1 in the middle. 1 in the middle is gonna do a lot, but 2 to the side is gonna be doing even more. So I don't know, I'll measure them up and do some stuff. So here I'm just cutting it and measuring for the 2 front ones. I was gonna go from the top to the floor, but once the wood's there, I don't think it will be necessary. But man, after welding these 2 pieces, I was like, man, these cars have 0 structure to them at all, and it's just so surprising. I was thinking about driving it the other day. I'm like, man, there's no roll cage, no nothing. It's like literally riding a motorcycle, just not. And it's so great. I'm so excited. It's gonna be fabulous. And yeah, after seeing the reinforcement in the cowl here, it's gonna be really nice to add some structure into the B-pillars, like where the doors shut to, because there's nothing there right now, and I plan on putting it in, so it's going to make everything really solid. So I'm going to I got some more wood, so I'm going to just finish up the body mounts and such, and then once it's all solid, I'll do the doors. Okay, so welded in 2 crossbars. Now this is super solid, and yeah, I didn't think that would make that big of a difference, but that made a ginormous difference. Like, that's how it should have been. So yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna do for tonight. And then I have to weld the steering shaft back in and get that all sorted, but that all looks super nice. And then we're gonna go from there. Let's see if I welded it on right. Oh, no. I gotta space it out, but look at that. Oh no. Oh. Okay, so now that we all got this reinforced and all good to go, steering column is able to be unbolted, dashboard's able to be unbolted. We have three mounting points on the bottom, 2 at the top. I think that's gonna be good. Like, the steering column's also pretty much mounted to the frame here. So I think with all that, that's gonna be really good to go. So next, what we're gonna do is weld the steering shaft back on where it needs to go, in there. And then that's kind of all taken care of. And then we got the good stuff. The gold boys. So I picked these up off the guy that I got the tail lights from. These are really nice, patinaed. They're not rusty. They're literally patina. The rest of the car are rusty. Old guide headlights. I've been saving up for these for a while, so there they are. It's kind of what I've been putting off to show you guys. Here's the other one. They're both the same patina. They both got the little marker light, the pointy one. I gotta put a sealed bulb into this one before I put it on the car, but yeah, I'm so excited about these. These are like, oh, they're like golden. They match the car. You can go buy brand new ones, don't get me wrong, but these ones are the way to go. Like, where's the car? They're gonna like, ooh, so big. So excited. Okay, steering, then lights. So we're gonna unbolt this bad boy again. I think I had my, yeah. If all goes as planned, this will actually just all come out. Look at that. Good. That is very good. Oh well. You guys will have to see a little bit. Okay, now this can get pulled off. And then that coupler that we did before, down here. Little coupler there where we can weld in. I'm just gonna center this so it's 2 1/4 turns. So half, 1, half, 2, half. That's gonna be the center of our box. It's gonna be there, and then we can move that accordingly to there. So we're gonna align this top keyway to, as best as we can, north. Here. We can always turn it once it's in there. But there we go. Need a little ham. Little hammer. Hear that sound? Good to go. So that is gonna be our steering now. So I'm gonna weld that up quickly down there. Probably just do like a weld there, a weld there. That'll be good and good to go. So here I am just TIG welding the steering back together. I was gonna MIG weld it, but I was like, not really into it, even though it would have been way easier. I don't know, I felt this was appropriate. I had to keep it nice and low profile as well, just because it has to fit through the portion of the reducer and the stabilizer in the column. So I was like, you know what, I'll do this. Even though it was quite a pain in the butt, it's always worth it. Once you see all the colors and everything afterwards, it's like good to go. I later then just heat up the one side to kind of straighten it a bit, and it works out pretty good. Okay, so here's the steering all welded up. Good to go. It's got a little bit of wobble in it, but it'll be there. I'll have to pull the side of the box off and shim it and stuff at some point, but for now, I think this lower box there, and then there's the adjuster screw there. So I'll have to figure that out, but I did it in one of the last videos, and I'll have to do it again. So now I'm just gonna put this back on, and we're good to go. And steering and column is done, and then we get to mount the lights. That's all it. Worst case, if it ends up not being enough once it's tight, I just gotta shorten this a little bit, and there's enough play in there. So look at that. Oh. Oh. I think we're doing pretty damn fine. There's that. That should be center. That facing up. Look at that. That's rock solid. Good to go. So I had some spare 7-inch bulbs at my parents' place / my old shop. So I don't know what they're from. No idea. But they were in like bezels and stuff, in holders. They might have been for the Corolla, but regardless of what they were for, they're going in this now because, well, these bulbs are expensive now, and I don't want to buy new ones, and I need them for this. So they were literally sitting in the dirt outside. So, oh, when Jason was showing me these headlights, we took them apart just to make sure that they had everything to put the sealed beams in it, and they do. So you just kind of take this beauty ring off, which just pops off once you get it back enough. Like that. Then you have the actual light portion. And then this is what kind of, I need a small screwdriver. This is what converts it. So there's two pieces here. We won't need the conversion portion. We'll just use the original headlight bezel and such. So I'm really curious to see what year these lights. Well, I don't know. There's a number on them, so I'll probably do some Googling later to see like when these actual lights were from. But so yeah, just take this out. This is like the conversion piece. Put this one in. Should go in there like that. It's nice. They got holes for like a couple different kinds of lights. Not that I know there's a difference, but if there was different ones, you would have all of them. I guess being Guide, they're technically an aftermarket light. So they would want all the appropriate, what's it called? All of the different light fixtures and fittings. So yeah, I don't know. We're doing it. And just like that, you have another sealed beam converted. There you go. Now we got 2. Oh, there's something shaking in there. That's probably a bad bulb, but we're good. Okay. Ole, ole. Okay. I found some nuts for here. It's not 1/2 inch. It's 1 under 1/2 inch. I don't know what that is, but we're good. So got some washers, got some of these. So let's move over to the car and I'll explain my. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is the lights came with this original Model A bar. We're not gonna use it. But what we are gonna use is half of it. Well, these portions here. So a lot of hot rodders just like oxy these up, bend them to where they wanna be, and go from there. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this in half here. So I have leverage bar here. And I'm just gonna bolt these down to the frame. I'm gonna probably use the 2 hole, like there's 1 hole, I'll have to drill another hole. And we can do it there. Maybe there. And then I'll have to bend these 90 degrees. So these come this way. And then I'm gonna push this one off to the side so it looks like that, except it'll be facing up. And I hope that's enough height. If that's not enough height, well, then what we're gonna have to do is make new ones. But we'll see. Here I am just marking out the holes sideways. It's kind of like an old school thing that they used to do back in the day, to use the bar to go over each one. So here I am just using the lube, just drilling 4 holes to use some 5/16 bolts. I'll get some carriage bolts afterwards because the actual mounts have the square holes in them to look pretty. But for now, just some nuts and bolts are gonna do, because that's what I had in my little bolt bin. So here we are. So what we're gonna do now is I'm just gonna take the torch and I'm gonna heat these up. And I'm gonna bring it like out and over and kind of put it in this portion here. And then we'll grab a headlight, clearance it, kind of see if that's the right angle and stuff after, once we get it here. So I'm gonna grab the torches and go from there. Torching steel like this is honestly one of my favorite things. I don't know, it's just so cool to me. You just heat up this metal that's been heated up once to red hot and put into position, and just do it again. And I just enjoy it. It's cool, it's fun, it's sweet. You gotta be very particular, you gotta manipulate the metal and feel way stronger than you actually are. It's just a really cool process that I'm glad I get to experience and do. And however you feel you want to move it, you get to move it. And you use some tools that you don't know you're going to use. Like there, I'm just using my crescent wrench to bend it in ways that you wouldn't think to bend it. So here I am just aligning the headlights. I kind of got to do it a few times over the next little bit here just to get them the same. I had bent the passenger one way nicer of a curve right off the bat, and I'm like, oh, I know how to do it now. I can just bend the driver's side like that first try. No, it doesn't work like that. The process that I had to do the passenger side and the bending and the way it is made it like that. So I kind of skipped a few steps to do the driver's side, and it showed. I ended up having to work with it quite a while just to get it back and put some shape into it, where it just looked too sharp, I felt, and the way it bent just didn't bend nicely, where the passenger side just looks very natural and fluent. Here I am just kind of trying to match it. Got easy, super hot, nice and easy. So let's just put on some of these washers and some lights and kind of see how they look. I don't think there's a left or a right. I'm just gonna do this one first just because it's naturally gonna be cooler, because it was the first one I did. So, oh, these are really, really long. So I'm definitely gonna have to cut some of those out. I think I'm gonna have to angle these forward a bit. I didn't know how much I had to go. So move it that way, tilt it that way. That's okay. I think I'm gonna be able to do that while the light's on, and then I can like pull it over a bit and up so there's still distance in between the grill. And then I'll put that one on right now too. I mean, it's steel, so it can probably get hot. The only thing that can't get hot is my fingers. So we'll kind of see where this one sits. Oh, this one sits pretty nice. I'm so excited on these. I was looking so long for these. Oh, I don't know if you can see the excitement in my face, but these headlights, I feel like they complete the car. Like the car's pretty crappy per se, but you get a couple nice parts here and there. Like, it's worth it to me. There's certain things like wheels make a car. On a hot rod, headlights make a car. Engine can be covered. It like gives it soul, of course. But there's certain things, and I feel like headlights and a grill on one of these cars is massive. So I'm really excited. Let's get these straightened out so then we can see for sure. I do know that my vision for these headlights came out good. Now let's not ruin them. That's pretty good. They're definitely not perfect, but I think this one has to go down a little bit here and up here, and that one has to kind of go a little bit. Here, let's try to fix it. think that's a bit better. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just chop these off right now, and then we'll roll it outside and, ooh, we're gonna look at this thing. So there we have it. Got the headlights all mounted, got the dash all in, got a working glove box. Look at this. Spring loaded, gotta get the gauges in, they're right there. You guys seen them. Got the 1940 Ford steering wheel, got enough room for my hands and enough room for my belly. And yeah, got the shifter on. I gotta space that out a little bit, but that's better than the old one. We're getting there. And here, the best part. Look at those. Look at those. Oh, I think that's perfect. It kind of makes it so I might not have to shorten the grill again. I still might shorten it so the bottom of this is right here. So like an inch and a half, but yeah. Let me know what you guys think. I'm really excited about it. It definitely like looks like a car now. Oh, well, just some of you guys might have not seen all of it, but kind of matches the back. Ooh, I kind of moved out a bit. I don't know. I still got to do some work on the body mounts and stuff, finalize a bunch of stuff, but there we have it. It's pretty much looking like a car. I got to cut some of the cowl out. I'll do that next one, and I don't know what we're doing next. My steering linkage is all done at the machine shop. Maybe I'll add some wood in there to figure that out. Sucks that I can't use those latches, like the rear hinges, so I got to get some straighter ones. Whole bunch of stuff. We're probably almost like getting ready to do the engine over there, but yeah. So I think next I'll probably do brakes, brake linkage and stuff. For me to do engine stuff, I need motivation, and there's no motivation right now to do the engine stuff. I know once it starts, I'll get really excited and I'll rush it. And as much as I want to do that, I don't want to do that. So I know everyone's waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. Never mind everyone else. But probably do brake pedal, clutch pedal, get that done. Then all I have to do is run brake lines. All my front brakes are at my brother's shop, so I just have to go there at some point and grab them. Fix some of the cowl area there. Run brake lines, do the rear patch panels in the trunk. But that can also just wait. I don't really care if it's open. It's not like I have a roof or anything sealed, but yeah. What color? Probably paint the raid shell, maybe black? I don't know. What do you guys think for color-wise for the rad shell, considering nothing else is painted? There's kind of some red there. I hate red, though. I don't know. Maybe I'll just sand it down and let it rust, like the rest of it. But yeah, we're getting there. We're getting somewhere. So thank you guys for watching. Click like, hit subscribe. Hope you guys are enjoying, and we'll get you on the next episode. See ya.